Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Astonishing Ant Man issue 1. Before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 117, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. And here are the exclusive comics. We got Tales of Terror, issue 1, Power Cubed, issue 2, Star Wars Shattered Empire, issue 4, Wonder Woman, issue 45, Injustice Gods Among Us, Year 4, Issue 12, Martian Manhunter, Issue 5, S.H.I.E.L.D., Issue 11, The Beauty, Issue 3, Invincible, Issue 124, Black Canary, Issue 5, Clean Room, Issue 1, Superman Wonder Woman, Issue 22, and Batman and Robin Eternal, Issue 3. So if you want to check out all those reviews, go to Comic Uno, episode 117, which is annotated. But let's start talking about The Astonishing Ant Man, issue 1. Now this is a book I was very excited, but very anxious to read, because I had a love-hate relationship with the last Ant Man series. I loved the beginning of the last Ant Man series, loved the Cassie and Scott relationship, but something I didn't like is how they treated Cassie by the end. She became a plot device, a damsel in distress, and I thought the character deserved more. And also, you know, Nick Spencer brought Cassie back, but doesn't really dig into how she feels to be brought back, you know? Didn't really deal with her times as a young Avenger, as a hero. Like, why is she not a hero anymore? You don't really get into her psyche. Well, because this is an Ant-Man series. But, you know, Stature is connected to Ant-Man, obviously, and kind of was her own Ant-Man. Ant-Woman, we'll call her. So yeah, that was a disappointment of that series. So I was like, alright, let's see what Astonishing Ant Man will do. You know, will they fix things? We knew Cassie was still going to be in this book, but will it fix anything? We'll find out. Let's start talking about the cover first of this book. Love the artwork. Very misleading cover, though. Yeah, Ant-Man does wrong things, but none of these characters show up. I guess you have one character who shows up because he works with him, but you don't have the not the Blue Beetle. The Beetle, not Blue Beetle. This is not DC Comics. You don't have the Beetle. You don't have a lot of these characters on the cover. And you don't really see Ant-Man join the villain side at all in this issue, you know? You see him mess up, but you don't really see him become a villain. So I thought that was kind of a misleading cover, but beautiful artwork. Let's start talking about the artwork for the story. Same artist as the last series, and I really like this artwork. I think it's pretty grounded. It fits the story. So yeah, I like the artwork for the most part. And also really like the clothing styles for a lot of these characters. I want to show you like the Miami Vice type clothing for Peggy's husband, and Peggy's the ex-wife of Ant-Man. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. So this is what he looks like. He looks like a Miami Vice character, which I thought was really cool. So here you go. Yeah, that's his detective look there. So that was funny. And also really liked Cassie's basketball clothes. I thought that was pretty stylish. Let me show you that. So yeah, artwork-wise, I thought it was pretty creative. Really liked how Ant-Man jumped to different panels when he used his powers. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, pretty creative overall for the artwork. But let's see what's going on with the overall story. What happened in this issue? So with this issue, of course, it's 8 months later after Secret Wars, and Scott, he's doing well with his job, and he's almost going to get another job from this museum. Will be big. He'll be doing security for the biggest museum in Miami, and of course he screws everything up. He's Scott, and the reason it gets screwed up is, you know, Blake's there, who again is the husband of Scott's ex-wife, and he says, well, this guy's no good, and then it kind of is proven why he's no good, and then by the end of the issue, a big cliffhanger is that he ends up in jail somehow, and we don't really know how. I guess we do find out how, but it's not, we don't really know from this issue how he goes to jail, and why he teams up with villains. It's not really shown in this issue. Now I'm gonna talk about the other stories happening here. We're going to save Cassie for last. But another story that happens is you have Darren Cross, who's Ant-Man's kind of arch nemesis, and he has the powers of Cassie Lang, and he wants to, of course, destroy Ant-Man. That's his motives. He's trying to use this henchap to do so. And yeah, he's just trying to figure out how to kill Ant-Man, pretty much. Leading into my, the other story with Cassie being depowered in this issue. She does not like her father at this moment. Her father left her, but you see that Scott is actually looking by the sidelines, still going to basketball games, still going to, doctor appointments. He's still being a good father, but by a distance, and Cassie doesn't see it. So Cassie's like, oh, I guess I want a normal life. I really don't, and I just want, my dad to be here, and he's not, and I see that he's not a good dad, and this is the first time Cassie's felt this way. And yeah, that's what happens in this issue. So let's start talking about the positives first of this issue. Like I said, I like the narrative of the book, the way it's told. I liked that by the end, you see that Scott's in jail, and you're like, oh, how did he end up in jail? And you see the antics of, Scott being Scott. It's kind of like the old Parker luck for Spider-Man. It's the old Lang luck for Scott. When things are going good, somehow they always go south, and that's what happens. Things I don't agree with Scott is him leaving his daughter. I don't really quite understand it, because in the first series, you see how much they care for each other, and it honestly just feels like a lot of cliches wrapped into one. We had a lot of cliches with the last volume in the end, where, Cassie became the damsel of distress. Cliche number 1. Cliche number 2 is, every superhero, they have to go away from their family if they want to be a superhero. And I feel like Scott has learned from his lessons there, He's done that in the past. He's left, and that's how he's not married anymore, And yeah, I didn't really quite understand why they used that cliche. I guess it's just to put Cassie on the sideline to make her not a hero anymore. But they could have done that in so many other ways than, doing this. So this leads me into Cassie, which I have a big problem with in this issue, and it really distracted me for the rest of the issue, honestly. It happens in the beginning of the issue where we find out that Cassie's depowered, and I was very upset with it, honestly, because as a Cassie Lang fan, as a Young Avengers fan, I didn't think it made sense that they depowered her, because if they don't want Cassie to be a hero, that's fine, and it's kind of easy to make her not a hero. She died. I mean, she could just say, hey, I have these powers, but I don't want to do anything with them. I died, She could still have her powers and still have those adventures, but they depower her. And then they also revert her character in the way she looks at her father. Something that I think has always been about with Cassie and always been about, something that has been prominent in Cassie's character is her love for her father. When you truly first see her as a hero and see her as an older character, become her own characters in Young Avengers. And the whole reason that she became Stature was to be like her father, and because she always looked up to her father, even though her mom always badmouthed him and didn't like heroes and didn't want her to be a hero, she still did it because she loved her father so much and would do anything to save him, and then that was even before she had her powers. And then in the first issue in Young Avengers, she realized, oh wait, I have powers because I took the bib particles. So that's how she got her powers, but it's always that she loved her father no matter what, and to take that away is just like, oh, this is weird. Like, I feel like Cassie's a character that kind of would understand that her father left her. But at the same time, I mean, I don't agree with Scott leaving her, so I thought that was stupid. But yeah, depowering her, it just pushes her to the sideline. I hope there's a bigger story here that, maybe she could be a hero without having powers. But I have a feeling they just depowered her that way they could take her out of the story, just focus on Scott as a hero. But I think, something that is so important to Scott is his family. That's always been a big part of his character. That is how he got the suit, is, trying to save his daughter. So to take the daughter out of the story in a lot of ways just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to Scott's character. So yeah, I was really, really upset with that, with those 2 pages. I feel like it actually, all the years of Cassie's progression as a hero, as a person, as a character, was taken away from her in those 2 panels. And she wasn't Cassie anymore to me. So yeah, I was really, really upset with that, and how to express that, so there you go, guys. So yeah, I was upset with that, and it didn't make me enjoy the issue as much, and it doesn't really make me excited for the rest of the book. Even though there are interesting plot lines, it's like, oh, I don't really care if Darren Cross has Cassie's powers and can't utilize them. Why would I care about that? And it just makes me care less about the story that honestly could be interesting. But of course I'll pick up Ant-Man. I want to see where it goes. Again, I could be just looking at this as a, one perspective, because I've only read one issue, and the whole arc could change everything, and Scott could realize that he shouldn't have left his family, and maybe Cassie could get her powers in another way. I am happy that she mentioned the Young Avengers, and that she's bored with her life, so maybe this will lead to something. I don't know, but I hope it does lead into something. But looking at this one issue, it disappointed me. So overall, it's not a bad issue. So I can't go lower than 3 stars, but I do have to go 3 stars. Even though there's some good plots here, the other plot kind of angered me and made me not like the issue as much. So the Astonishing Ant Man issue 1 gets 3 stars. I was pretty disappointed with this issue, and I had a feeling they're gonna go this route, and they just confirmed it. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.